We are starting this unit. It is transformations. That's the overall title of the unit. We are looking at how what's called rigid transformations perform under certain operations. It's a very short and sweet unit. We should be done within 2 weeks. We do have this long weekend. You have Friday off, you have Monday off. So we do have a long weekend kind of in the middle of it, so it may be like 2.5 weeks technically since we lose 2 school days. You will have a quiz Thursday, short and sweet, 10 questions. It will cover what I'm going to cover today and then what I cover tomorrow. That will be on the quiz, okay? Everybody with me? It should be an easy 100. It should be. If you're paying attention, if you're here, if you're trying, remember it's like a sport. If you don't go practice, coach is not going to put you in the game because you're going to suck at it, right? So if you don't practice the math, when I say, hey, here's your practice question, how can you expect to do well on a quiz or a test, right? So keep that in mind. First of all, we need to change something on here because this used to be Unit 1, and then the state, for whatever reason, decided, hey, let's make it Unit 3. And I just keep forgetting to go in and type a 3 here. Please, in the best way you can, turn that into a 3. Or, oh no, wait, I know how to do it. I remember what I did last year, because I forgot last year. We're going to write a 3. Write a 3 right here, and then make this into a box.
That's so smart.
That's what I did last year.
Wait, what?
And you're one smart one.
Oh, I just made it a 3.
All right. This little booklet is one of my favorite. There's a lot of reasons this is my favorite. One of my favorite units. It's one of my favorites because it's short and sweet. I don't like when units drag out because it's just like, okay, can we move on? I like that it's short and sweet. I like that you can be bad at math, but you can still do good in this unit. I like that. There's not a lot of algebra here. So you can be bad at algebra and you can really do well in this unit. I also like that we have this nifty little book. You're holding the book. That is your transformations book. And that is the unit. That's it. That's what I'm going to teach from for the next week. And then once I teach it, then we'll go to Delta Math and practice it. You with me? So that's going to be, it's kind of like, remember the flip book on quadrilaterals? That was the whole unit on quadrilaterals. It's very similar to that. Okay? Good. All right. Let me lay it out for you. Transformations means something is changing, right? The first transformation we're going to cover is, now don't confuse these words, is called a translation. Hear the difference? Look at the difference. You got transformation is the umbrella word for the whole unit. Translation means to, I'm pointing to it.
So translation is
It means slide. Listen to me. Here's the easiest way to remember what a translation is. If you go visit another country that does not speak English, you will need to translate, which means you're going to take what you want to say and you're going to slide it into their language so they can understand you, right? So, translations in geometry means you're taking a shape, a figure, and you're sliding it to another spot. You with me? Is that mine?
Look, I got my phone on me.
Yeah, but mine's on.
You got Twitter. Tweeter.
No, mine's on Do Not Disturb because I'm teaching.
Ooh. It's mine.
Twitter has bad stuff on it.
No.
Twitter has really bad stuff on it.
Twitter has like no restrictions.
You can, people can notify you. It doesn't notify you.
Okay. Shh. So today we're going to cover translations. It's very short and sweet. I feel like you're going to be fine with translations. Then we're going to look at reflections. We are not covering all the reflections today because there's actually, technically, there's 6 types. That sounds like a lot. I hate saying that too. Technically, there's 6 types. We're going to cover 2 of them today. The first ones that are always just counting, they're very easy. We're going to cover those today. We'll save the other 4 for tomorrow. That's when we're going to look at that back side of the basic sheet. Then after your long weekend, we will have rotations. Then we will come back after rotations and we will talk about what mapping means. And then we'll have a test. You with me? So right here, you're going to have, you don't have to write this down. I'm just kind of giving you a mapping of what we're doing. We're going to have quiz 3-1, because it's unit 3, first quiz. After rotations, we will cover something called symmetry, which will be a new worksheet that's not covered in the booklet. And then we'll have mapping, and then we will have our test. You with me? All right, let's dive in. First one, translation. Open your booklet. You're looking at page 1. We have 2 new vocab words that I need you to learn. 2 vocab words. The first one is right here.
Pre-image.
If you have a highlighter, you're welcome to highlight that. If you don't have a highlighter, you can borrow one of mine. Just please return it. Or you can just box it in like what I just did. You're welcome to get a highlighter if you're wanting one. I want one. Okay. What is a pre-image? So look at how you read this. It says triangle ABC is the original figure, meaning the one you started with, and instead of just calling it the original, we are going to call it the pre-image. Okay? So it's kind of like, what's the concept of a pre-workout?
So
People that take
you.
pre-workouts. Why is it called that?
Because it's before workout.
Because you take the supplement before the workout. That's why it's called a pre-workout, right? Okay, a pre-image means it's the image before you do anything to it. You with me? So this right here, draw an arrow, is the pre-image.
Pre-game. You heard of pre-game? Oh!
Next is we need to learn how to label our new shape after we've done something to it so that we don't confuse ourselves with the pre-image. The pre-image is called ABC, right? You with me? Okay, we are going to translate it, and then we're going to have another picture, another triangle on this graph. We need to name it so that we don't confuse ABC with the new one. Enter the little apostrophe. Looks like an apostrophe right here. You see it? See that one, and there's actually supposed to be one right there, but it's kind of, I think it got deleted. Do you see those? I'm going to draw an arrow to it, and I'm going to write in quotes the word prime. You don't read it A apostrophe, B apostrophe, C apostrophe, because that would be a mouthful, right? You read it A prime, B prime, C prime. That's how you read it. And it means, go back to the letters, it means that A, B, C just had something done to it, and now you have A prime, B prime, C prime. You with me? This is really important. All right. What does translate mean? It means to slide. So it's like taking a shape, say you go right, then down, for example. I'm just drawing an example. That would be sliding it to a new position, right? Okay, so look right here. This says translate x comma y, then it has an arrow, then it says x plus 6 comma y. Okay, new vocab word, phrase. It's called the written rule. Write that right there and then underline it because it is referring to this mess that you see right underneath it. It is called the written rule. Another way to talk about it is the formula. You could say it's the formula, but you will never hear it that way coming out of my mouth. You're never going to see it written that way. You're going to see the phrase, what is the written rule? Or here is the written rule. Or find the written rule. Or tell me what this written rule means is happening.
What
Okay?
about the unwritten rules? Is there any unwritten
No,
rules?
it's not. Now, let me show you something. I'm going to use a highlighter here. In every single written rule, stay with me, y'all. I'm losing some of you. In every single written rule, the beginning part is the same. The beginning part of every single written rule starts out like that, with what's highlighted. Every time. Every single time. And that's because it's saying, hey, take every XY point. The arrow means apply this. And then what you actually need to look at is what's over here. Because this is where you see what to do with it. All right, I'm going to say it again. Every written rule starts out the same way. It's what comes after the arrow that is telling you what to actually do. So that's where you focus your attention. Okay? This is saying, this is how you read it. This is saying, take every X coordinate and do what with it? It's straightforward, y'all. There's no tricks here. It says, take every X coordinate and add 6. And then notice Y has nothing next to it, which means
Just
leave Y alone. Copy the Y over.
It'll just be whatever X is plus 6.
Yes. Yes.
Uh,
That's it. Because this is just what? Sliding.
Sliding.
It's just sliding, which means we should just
Slide
be
to
moving
left.
right or left, or up or down, or both.
Crisscross.
Alright, so we have the coordinate points A, B, C right here. We are going to write our new coordinate points, A prime, B prime, C prime. We are going to get our new coordinate points by plugging in the X coordinate to the written rule. Now, if you need to write it out so you know where it came from, you can. Like it would look like this. All I did was tack on plus 6 at the end of the X. If you need to show that so you know where it comes from, you can. Or you can go straight to the answer. I'm just going to go ahead and say, what it is. So, what are the coordinate points of the A prime? 2, negative 1. You may want to show how you got that on at least one of them. So when you're looking back, you're not like, where did I get the 2 from? What about for B prime?
5,
5, 1. What about C prime?
2, 5.
And then you plot them. Then you draw it. So do that right now. Plot it. Connect the points to create the triangle. And then go ahead and label the points too. Label them A prime, B prime, C prime.
Another Brandon kid. Brandon, like, he's like a little freshman.
Richmond.
I think it would.
Did you plot?
How did A prime go negative 1? Doesn't that go down to the right and then down?
Yeah. So A prime is right 2, down 1. B prime is right 5, up 1. Now y'all see why the warm-up was what it was. C prime is right 2, up 5. Then you connect, right? Now, here's another reason why I like this unit, because you should be able to look at it and check yourself. What did the rule say to do? it said to simply go, translate this for me, like tell me what this means.
It goes that way.
Oh,
six.
What does plus 6 mean when it comes after an X?
Whatever that way.
Right six.
Right 6. Did my pre-image move right 6?
Yes, it did. I think. Yeah.
Right? It went right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yes, it went right 6. Now there is a word for this one. This makes complete sense, although it's very challenging for people to remember. When you have done something to the pre-image, it is now called the image. Makes sense. We take the pre off, right? Because something's done to it. I want every one of you to go to page 2 and do that one. That is a trapezoid, ABCD, and it is translating. How do you know where it's translating? You look at the written rule. I want you, you don't have to necessarily, I'm going to use a highlighter here to show you. You don't have to do this part in the middle. You don't have to show me that. I do want to see this though. I want to see the coordinate points of your A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime on your paper before you graph it, okay? Okay. So everyone's trying this one. And I'm going to write above this is the written rule. I would like you to do that too, so you can get used to that phrase. Yeah, in a second. Remember, the first part of the written rule is the same every time. It's the second part after the arrow where you actually see what's happening. Yes, and then label A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime. And then graph it. So far, so good, yes. Don't forget to label them. Like you're going to tell me, you know, what A prime, B prime, C prime, and D prime are. After you find the coordinate points, then you're going to plot it and graph it. So, what is this translation doing? What direction? Wait, always tell me the horizontal first. It's going what first? What does plus 3 mean? Right 3, then what?
Down 6.
Okay, so we're going, you need to be able to tell me that. You know, if I said, here's a written rule, tell me what it means. You would say it's a translation, right 3, down 6. Okay, so did you get for A prime, -1, -1?
Yes.
B prime is 1, -1. C prime is 2, -5. And D prime is -4, -5. Did you get that?
Yes.
Then you should have graphed it. So we got -1, -1 is A prime. It helps to label. Then we've got 1, -1 is B prime. C prime is 2, negative 5. D prime is negative 4, negative 5. Now, what if I graphed D prime and I was over here, and then I went and drew my picture? Everybody listen, watch, look, listen, think. What if I had that? Well, y'all know it's wrong because I changed to red. Red means wrong, right? But how do I know, like, what should stick out on your paper as like, whoa, you've done something wrong?
Same as the
Thank you. Okay, which brings us to this line down here. Did yours say that? It says, remember. Okay. All right. Yours at the bottom looks a little different than mine. I'll fix mine in a second. But if you were graphing this and you connected the dots and your picture does not match the same shape that the pre-image was, that's your telltale sign that something's wrong. Either your numbers were wrong or either you graphed it wrong. Okay? Because when you take and you translate -4, -5, when you translate, it would be the equivalent of picking up a cookie cutter shape and just moving it to another spot on the pan, right? The shape itself does not change shape or size, it just changes the position that it's in, like where it is on the graph. So then I can see that this connects, and now I have that nice trapezoid that I started with. All right, your paper says, remember at the bottom, it says, isometric transformation. Now that's a new vocab word. Where it says isometric, I need you to underline that multiple times. Isometric transformations form congruent figures. Congruent figures. What does congruent mean? They're equal. Now we're getting into shapes. So there's two parts to the word congruent. There's same shape and same size, which is what continues the fill in the blanks. Same shape, same size. Your practice assignment is posted in Delta Math. It is about 14, 15 questions, and it is just translations. Okay?